How you doing today, my consumers of the consomme? See, you didn't know I knew that shit. We're back again today with the greatest real estate developer. This nigga right here just challenged the night with nothing but the skills of a nigga that knows about foundation laying. Let's get it.
In the last part, Lloyd challenged Newman, and today is the day of the fight. The Baron was disappointed in Lloyd and thought that it was all a joke in the end. Javier assures him that it was not a joke, and Lloyd was serious about it.
Yeah.
He had trained himself very hard in the past 1 month, helped the village engineers to build the Andal system, and then practiced sword work until he went to sleep.
Damn! Until he went to sleep.
He was sure that this time it was not a prank and Master Lloyd is really serious about the duel. The Baron signals to start the duel, and Lloyd is ready in a lackluster pose with his iron shovel in his hand. Newman charges him, but Lloyd easily manages to dodge the attack by using his iron
He blocked. He parried that shit. That nigga did not dodge.
shovel. Newman is agitated and attacks him again, saying luck doesn't work twice. But this time too Lloyd
He
is
parried
able to
your
deflect
shit.
his attack. His movements are very so efficient that Javier is shocked. Lloyd points his shovel toward him and remembers the days when he was having his bayonet training in the Korean military.
No, okay. Hacks counter, hacks counter, hacks counter, hacks counter. Ain't no fucking way. Well, no. No, I don't know, bro. I don't hacks counter. I'm counting hacks. Ain't no fucking way. I just don't believe it. This is sword fighting and you're using bayonet training to deflect a sword? What does that even... Okay, with the shovel, but he has the... I don't know.
He was able to use the shovel as a shield, and as well to strike the opponent. He uses the shovel as a pogo stick to
Okay, that is a hacks counter. What the fuck did that nigga do? He's using it as a pogo stick. It would get stuck in the ground.
mock Newman. Javier was confused as he thought it was a joke after all or not. Lloyd now switches to
He has aura!
offensive and was able to push Newman back by using his skill expansion shoveling. Newman was frustrated and left with no choice, and summons his mana heart, and mocks Lloyd by raising his sword high. Javier thinks, for someone without skills, it takes over 10 years to summon the Manheart. It would be impossible for someone like Master Lloyd to block the attack which was enhanced with mana in it. Newman swings his sword, thinking that he will be able to crack the blade and behead Lloyd with the attack. Everybody was miserable, but somehow Lloyd manages to block the attack without
That
taking
shield
damage.
crazy.
It felt to Newman as if all his strength was leaving his body and being absorbed by the shovel.
Top 3 reasons why now is the best time to play Honkai Star Rail.
That's wild.
Number 1.
That's
if you're seeing
crazy.
this video, that means
And Javier reveals that
No sponsors on my channel without me getting some fucking bread. I need at least $1, my nigga. Can I get $1? 50 cents?
he used the mana conjuring skill, the Azrahan core technique. Newman figures this out in no time and retreats, but is instantly hit in the face
God damn, the nigga like this shit.
by Lloyd with his shovel. Due to this, his tooth is sent flying into the sky. Lloyd then hits him
God damn. Ooh.
Everybody was unable to believe that Lloyd has won the duel until the Baron hesitantly announces Lloyd as the winner.
I was gonna say, how the fuck is he gonna get up from that? Nigga smacked him twice with a shovel. I'm sure, and it was like coated with mana heart aura or whatever the fuck.
Newman was unable to believe it and was in shock lying on the ground. Lloyd starts to beat him mercilessly.
Hey, don't kill him. Hey, like him. Hey, bro, chill.
The Baron shouts to stop Lloyd, but still, Lloyd beats him into a pulp.
No.
The guards try to get hold of him and stop him for a moment, but as soon as they
That nigga said one more. I got one more in me.
guards let him
I love this nigga Lloyd. We're continuing this. I don't care what his likes are. I'm continuing this on this channel. This is great.
go, he starts to beat him again. Javier notices his calm face and speculates that Lloyd is hitting him precisely to hurt every single part of his body. It was as if he knew everything already. 15 days before the duel, Lloyd asked Javier
Javier's like, can that nigga Lloyd beat me?
to teach him the Azrahan
Hold
core
on.
technique. Javier was shocked upon hearing this. The Azrahan core technique is the core method that draws a man from the surroundings, not just the mana that is conjured by the individual. Javier was skeptical about him knowing the technique as he himself was not able to master the skill. Lloyd, with a brazen face, tells him that he talked about it in his sleep. Javier thinks of it.
You talk about it in your sleep every time I put you to bed with my lullaby.
But rejects to teach him the technique. Lloyd tells him that he could help him to complete the unfinished technique, and in return, he has to teach him the technique. Javier is confused due to his arrogance. Lloyd explains the technique to him. Javier then tries to perfect the Azrahan technique, and he was able to perform it as Lloyd instructed. His approval rating by Javier increases by 5 points. Lloyd then learns the skill of absorbing mana from his touch that day. And today he used the same skill to defeat Newman easily. The Baron yells at him and tries to stop him. Lloyd asks the Baron to look under the cloth and then he should try to stop him. As he uncovers the table, he was shocked to find the letter. Lloyd tells him that his knight Newman has defrauded him in a real estate deal.
Damn!
Newman was shocked.
Damn! And he got evidence! I love this nigga, Lloyd!
As he hid the letter in the wall. Lloyd smirks, and as he already knew this from the novel, he had Padong to find these letters. The Baron was frustrated and was still recovering from the shock. Lloyd knew that the Baron was too kind to
Yeah, you gotta check your people now.
handle this situation by himself, so he suggests the Baron drop a mouse on his head, and if he was hurt by the mouse, then he must be exiled from the land. Otherwise, demote him to a foot soldier and give him the opportunity to repent.
That nigga. Okay. This nigga hit him with a Chinese proverb, bro. Ain't he supposed to be like a Korean? He hit him with a Chinese proverb, bro. Said drop a mouse on his head, and if he were to be hurt by it, he should be exiled.
Everybody present there was in shock and thought Newman is a powerful knight and will never be hurt by the mouse. The Baron accepts this and asks Newman if he had any objection.
This nigga is finna make a story. Imagine being around medieval times hearing this shit, because this shit is gonna spread. A magical mouse, because this is magical too, so it could in fact increase its size. That's gonna be crazy, bro. This nigga is trying to get his name spread.
Objections. Newman's
That RP finna
says
be
that he
crazy
was
from
grateful
this.
for the mercy. Lloyd sees through his scheme of betraying the Baron again and tells him that it was good to see him smile, but it will be his last time to do so. Newman was not able to understand what he meant. Lloyd feeds Padong the red seed and throws him in the air. And as Padong eats the seed, he becomes huge, and everybody was shocked due to this. Newman was scared as the mighty Padong falls
Damn!
and Lloyd announces the exile for him. After some days, Padong is seen digging in the road in the estate. Javier was confused, and Lloyd tells him that he was using Padong to carve a road in there. He was trying to the Great Appian Way just as the Romans made. He was going to build it from the Baron's mansion to the base of the eastern mountains, and tells him not to worry as he will see it soon when he will there land on the map.
That nigga got
Javier
moves.
asks Lloyd, from where he gains so much knowledge, learned to summon the creature out of nowhere, and asks him if he really was Lloyd. The system alerts him that Javier has suspicions about his identity.
Ooh.
And he was scared as he read about Javier in the novel and knew that if he finds out about something,
Yeah, if Javier finds out, it's GG's. That nigga is too loyal to the estate. He's gonna be like, you took over Master Lloyd's body? I don't give a fuck if he was trash. Get out! Ain't nobody gonna care that you died either. The master gonna be sad, but like, there's no way to find out that Lloyd was dead or not. Yeah, there's ways to get around it. And they're gonna believe Javier too. So yeah, it's GG's.
someone else who has stolen the Lord's son's body,
Yep.
he might use his sword and kill him.
Yep.
Lloyd has saved his special skill for the times like this. He uses his special skill stubborn insistence and speedy topic change on Javier, and was able to get rid of the suspicion this time. He asks Sir Bayer to look at
I like the idea that nigga could not do it himself. He had to use a skill. It had to be a surefire way. Because if that nigga Javier found out anything, he would use that sword and at least lose an arm. And no doubt in my mind, Javier would at least cut off an arm and make him tell some shit.
the road work while he was away. Javier insists to come along with him and asks him where were they heading. He replies somewhere far, as he has to take back some money which was stolen from them. In the small border town, Ladinia, we see the real estate conman, Towards, lost all his money. In gambling, the guy beside him tells him that if he can't pay his salary, then he will leave him. Towards is worried about it. As he was thinking, Lloyd enters the room with a bang. Towards was not able to identify him, as he only knew his name and not his face. Lloyd introduces him, and Towards is really frightened and tries to escape with the help of his knight. He breaks the wall and jumps on the road, only to find Javier waiting.
Damn! Check that nigga.
Javier swings his sword and asks the knight to leave Towards Aline and leave the site. If he resists, he will see him as a co-conspirator and kill him. The knight uses his gravitational magic on
Gravitational magic? This nigga belongs on fairy tale.
Javier. Lloyd smirks as he knows that Javier was stronger than the knight. He attacks Javier with a mana blast and is blocked by Javier. He uses more of his gravitational magic on him, and due to this, he was on the edge with him. But he uses his triple circle mana heart and erases the magic, which terrifies the mage, and he immediately leaves the
The nigga's like, nope, I'm gone.
Now that Towards is alone, Javier was going to kill him, but he was intercepted by Lloyd as he didn't want to kill Towards, but uses him for some other work. He was tied down on a chair, and Lloyd and Javier starts to interrogate him. Lloyd tells Towards to stop being scared because he didn't want to behead him but to use him for some other work. Lloyd asks him to hand over the Baron's remaining assets. Towards said he will do it only if he will forgive him. He tells him that if he has to do it without any resistance but it had to be forgiven, then he has to do something else, and slides in an unknown contract.
What kind of contract? Just your normal What is on this contract? What could
Towards asks him what the contract was. It was a normal employment contract with a paid salary, but he has to repay 80% of the salary back to the Baron.
That nigga got him on a fucking 360 deal. He got him a 360
for the money he defrauded them. And after 520 years he will be able to repay all the debts he has, which frightened him even more. Lloyd's plan was to use him to make money for his entire life.
Ascension WoW is a standalone World of Warcraft private server that reimagines WoW in a...
Towards tries to resist signing the contract, but Lloyd threatens him that if he does not sign the contract they will have to go to court. He was left with
Do you want to live and work under me for the rest of your days, or do you want to die? Most definitely, because that was a treasonous act. Oh shit! This nigga Lloyd is crazy. I love him.
but to sign the contract. A few days later at the Frontera Barony, Lloyd was in need of workers for his future projects. There were many people interested in it. Lloyd asked Javier why were there so many people as they hated him in the past. Javier tells him that after the delivery of affordable Andal systems, took care of the trader and also called upon a summon for his help. And now he was being considered a trustworthy, talented man by the people. The people really saw him as a hero. As he was talking to the man, he asked Lloyd if they can accept an order from the neighboring Lacona land as his relative wanted the Andal system. Finally, it was his time to execute his final plan and puts on a shitty face as per Javier. And now Javier notices that's why he was constructing the main road to the mountain and provided Andal systems to the people and took a loss on himself. Both of them were standing on the top of the hill and saw the mountains. Lloyd tell Javier.
I'm still on that nigga Lloyd and his 360 deal, bro. That shit was crazy.
That soon the mountains will be stripped.
Now I'm kind of scared the nigga finna do it again to somebody.
Bare. Javier asks him why was that. Lloyd tells him that it requires an astronomical amount of fuel for the Andal systems, and these trees will not be enough. And he was laying down the Appian Way just to get to the eastern mountains, as there was a mine from where he was supposed to get some black coal to use as fuel. And then he can sell the coal at a very high profit.
That's interesting. So the magic just burns what the magic itself is the fire. It's kind of like a steam floor heated system, and the fuel is the trees. So, and you're burning through fuel like crazy because you have so many Andal systems. That's crazy. That's actually interesting.
and promises a very
So I thought it was like a 1-to-1. He did like a magic circle configuration, and the magic was heating the floors. But technically, yes, it is. But it's only the ignition.
small discount for the people of their land. Javier was
That's
thinking
crazy.
that he was so sneaky and devious. Lloyd tells
Wait, what did he say? I missed all of that. What did he say?
and he was laying down the Appian Way just to get to the eastern mountains,
Uh-huh.
as there was a mine from where he was supposed to get some black coal to use as fuel.
Yep.
And then he can sell the coal at a very high profit and promises a very small discount for the people of their land.
This nigga's a businessman. Hold on.
Javier was thinking that he was so sneaky and devious. Lloyd tells him
The way he said it, though, I'll give the people of our land a discount, a small one, a very small one. It's like you get 15% off. Whoop-de-
that he has to be that way because they
With the purchase of an Andal system in our land.
have a huge debt to be paid. Javier realizes that was the best way to get able to pay the debts. But the black coal mine was just not possible for them to mine coal from, as it would collapse due to the weak bedrock. But Lloyd assures him that he can do it. He tells him that they will use the shield tunneling method and was really excited about it. Javier was confused as he was unaware of the shield tunneling method and never heard of it. But he still decides to trust him. He was preparing for the tunnel excavation, but thinks he should have had a more cool skill as the current skills were too slow.
Uh-huh.
But he was able to upgrade them with the help of the 693 RP points he got from the Newman incident.
Damn.
He was now ready to test the skills
I told you RP farming. This nigga know how to do it. He's a showman too. Nigga said nigga hit him with a Chinese proverb. Everybody dumbfounded like a rat. The fuck is he gonna do with a rat? Threw the hamster up in the air. Hamster got big, had everybody shocked, and he got Newman exiled. Damn.
in reality. He was at the site of the black coal mine, where he uses his new skill, optional skill intermediate surveying, GPR scanning. With the help of these skills, he was able to see up to 5 meters in depth. But the problem was it was too slow with the help of his current manpower to dig the tunnel. He thinks of using Podon, but he was sick from constructing the road and all the long-distance jobs. Even if he recovers it, will be risky to let him dig the tunnel
Finna get a new
due to his
Pokemon?
humongous
Bet.
size. He thinks for some time and finally realizes something.
New one.
He uses the summon skill to get a new
Yep.
beast. As always, the small portal appears in front of him, and from it appears a snake-like creature. At first,
Look at
Lloyd
her.
thought that the creature
Oh, Pardon kind of a bitch. We're like, oh, look at her. She looks so pretty.
was meant to be poisonous and is used to assassinate people. He thought that it was pretty useless for him to have it, but thinks of Padong as he was at first thought was useless, but he had his abilities. He asked the creature if it had any special skill to show him. A few weeks later, after a few weeks in the mine, we see Bangul, which was used as the main machine to excavate into the mine. First, it would eat the dirt and make a path and shoots the steel dung as the excretion after digestion of the mud it ate. When it launches the turds, they were slashed by Javier into uniform lengths, and the pieces were further used in the construction of the tunnel by
That's
the remaining
so
workers.
fire.
Lloyd was dizzy due to lack of oxygen in the tunnel, but thanks to the pipes they installed earlier, which gave enough oxygen supply to work. Javier tells Lloyd to rest for some time and head out of the tunnel, but he refuses as he says that he is in charge of the tunnel and he is supposed to look after the work of it.
Yeah, but you gotta rest up, boss. Because if you ain't rested, then how the fuck are we gonna know what to do with your project?
He uses his skill to scan further in the tunnel and finally finds the black coal.
Ooh,
You see, I get discounts for my safe driving with Snapchat.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
And you
That's
got
crazy.
discounts
That's
for signing
crazy.
up.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. What the fuck did I tell you about these sponsorships? I need to see something. 99 cents, my nigga. Can I get 99 cents?
He cheers everyone and thanks Bangul for the help, as due to her help the work was completed 10 times faster than what was expected. He orders everyone as we reach the coal layer. They have to dismantle the shield and enlarge the mining space, and says it was still dangerous here and asks them to be careful. As he was completing his sentence, the tunnel starts to crumble from where they left.
Oh, fuck.
He uses his GPR scanning skill and tries to see what caused it. He saw a hole that was not present before. The hole gets bigger, and out of nowhere huge ants start to attack him, and he is saved by Javier. Lloyd gets up and kills the ant with his shovel. He thought it was over, but he realized that ants live in colonies
Oh,
and the hole
fuck.
becomes even bigger and a
Oh,
huge
fuck.
number of ants were seen by them. Javier tries to hold the ants for some time until the workers evacuated, but he was simply outnumbered as there were around 200,000 ants he had to hold back.
Holy shit!
Javier slaps him so that he was able to take action as he thought that he was consumed by panic. Lloyd tries to figure it out, and an idea pops into his mind. He takes a torch and asks Javier to go into the nest. Javier thought that it was a ridiculous idea, as if they went to their death is sure. But still, he trusts Lloyd and enters the nest. At the Baron's mansion, the comes to know about the incident and immediately orders all the soldiers to get ready to fight. Here, both of them are inside the ant nest and Javier is able to hold them for some time and is now getting tired due to the lack of oxygen in the tunnel. He was using his GPR scanning skill to find something while
This shit
Javier
cold,
was getting
hold on.
tired by the minute. He gets what he was searching for and starts to dig at the place, while Javier defended him. Out of nowhere there is a large roar that shook the whole place. It was the huge queen ant.
Oh, fuck.
Javier activates his man heart and reaches his max potential to defend Lloyd. And he was busy digging the ground. Finally, he hits the camber where there was methane gas present. He immediately asks Javier to run to the exit and starts running. Javier too on his command starts to run to the exit. As they reach the exit, Lloyd throws the torn into the nest, which resulted in the explosion of the whole nest. There was methane gas present. The queen was able to escape just her head from the nest and everything was decimated into ashes. Javier protects Lloyd by acting as a human shield and
We got our Yowie moment, boys. We got our Yowie moment. Just me and the boys. When you can't find a blanket over your friend's house when you sleep over.
taking the damage from the explosion. Outside the tunnel, there was a huge explosion heard by the Baron and soldiers who were there to save Lloyd. The Baron thinks that his son might be dead and tries to go in, but the night Byron
Now, when he said that shit, I can only think of Garmadon screaming, Lloyd! You know, from Ninjago.
stops him from going inside. Lloyd has now recovered from the shock and tries to look for an escape route as they were now trapped in the mine. He wakes up all dizzy. The system tells him that he was running out of oxygen and he has to escape as soon as possible. He uses the skill to see if he had any escape routes. The system showed how much time he left to escape. He immediately starts to dig the wall using his shovel, as Javier and Bangul have taken damage from the explosion and there is nothing he can do but to dig the wall and make an escape. Javier was touched by his determination and his approval. Rating for him increased by 6 points. The oxygen levels were now really low, and he was unable to breathe. He starts to upgrade his skills and scans all his pre-existing skills, and combines them to upgrade the Azrahan core technique. He upgrades the skill to level 10, and due to this, he was able to unlock Azrahan core technique double circle. He has now drained all his RP and the system informs him that his mana amplification is 200%. He uses his other skill Energizer and Latent Power, which will help him to move for 10 minutes without any fatigue and triple his mana amplification for 20 seconds. After activating the skills, he without and waste of time starts to dig an escape route. The oxygen in their camber was getting lower and lower.
Go Lloyd! 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 Go Lloyd! 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 Go Lloyd!
Has exceeded the 10-minute mark, but he still had the other skill.
Yes!
Power surge. He gets up and starts to dig the tunnel, hoping to reach the exit as soon as possible. It was just 30 centimeters away, and the time limit of the skill was just.
You're right there, bro. Get it!
But the oxygen there has been depleted fully, and due to this, he falls on the ground and thinks that he will be dead soon. The wall in front of him starts to crumble. It was Padong who had come to his rescue.
Yeah,
Finally, the room
Padong!
is full of oxygen, and he gets up. Here, the Baron and his soldiers are on the way to rescue Lloyd and Javier. As they walk into the tunnel, he sees Lloyd carrying Javier on his back. The Baron starts to run towards them and catches him as he was falling to the ground. Finally, the night was over and a new day begins in the barony. Everybody was talking about Lloyd. They thought of him as their hero. In the mansion, we see Lloyd lying on his bed, and beside him is Javier waiting for him to be awake. Lloyd opens his eyes, and the system notifies him that all of Frontera's subjects were deeply moved by his heroic act. And for this great achievement, he had been awarded a large amount of RP. He was very happy to receive the award and puts on an evil smile.
The nigga's like, thank God, I depleted all my shit the other day.
tunnel is secure for extraction of coal. The soldiers have made it even easier to transport the coal by building a rail and upgraded the infrastructure of the overall tunnel. Lloyd and Javier are in the tunnel. Everybody was grateful for his deeds.
He's like, you all saved our lives.
Up to him as their ideal. Even thought it was good, he still feels it a bit uncomfortable. Javier and Lloyd are making sure that safety is assured for the people to mine coal. While on the way, Javier asks him why was he doing such a dangerous work in person as he could order his soldiers to do the work. He replied that he is the man in charge and he has to see to his man's safety. To do so, he has to be in the front line.
Yeah.
And also nobody would complain anything when he gets most of the money.
Yeah.
Javier was not able to identify whether he was a good or a bad person, so his approval rating towards Lloyd didn't rise. They walked for some time until they reached the end of the tunnel, and were about to go back. But Lloyd uses his skill to scan is there anything behind the wall, and starts to dig the wall using his shovel. Javier was a bit skeptical about it, but Lloyd remains firm and digs a hole through the wall, and reaches the other sida. He finds a huge, muscular orc and the food stock collected by the ants. Javier tells him that the wild ants paralyze their prey and store them for their next meal. Lloyd had his SUS face on him and thinks of it as an opportunity for something. At the mansion, the orc is now in good condition and awake. He introduces himself as Arash and thanks Lloyd for saving his life.
Okay, Arash, you're welcome on to the crew.
And he asks him to tell him what does he want, and he will fulfill his wish.
He wants you, Arash. You're our partner now.
Lloyd is excited and he thinks it as an opportunity. Lloyd, with a cheerful face, asks him to give 120 orcs to work in the mine.
Ooh.
The orc Arash rejects it instantly. Lloyd asks him why it was not possible as he saved his life. The orc replies that the mighty orcs only take orders from the Waris they respect and not anybody can order them. Lloyd thinks of a scheme and he knew that the orcs have to bring the head of the wild ants for their coming of age ceremony. So Lloyd congratulates him for completing the ceremony. But the orc Arash was sad as he was not able to get a single ant. Arash was not able to remember anything. Lloyd, with a very serious face, tells him that due to his help Lloyd was able to deliver the final blow and defeat the weekend ant, and tells him that the wild ant was caught by both of them. And after the tricking him, he was finally able to get the promise of 120
gaslit
orcs
the
from
fuck
Arash.
out of him.
Lloyd and the
What? Hold on. He gaslit gatekeep girl boss so hard that he went from I couldn't give you 120 orcs because they only respect the strong to yes sir you can have 120 orcs.
Orc Arash have finally reached their destination 1 week later, at the village of the Sand and Steel tribe of wild orcs. They were in front of the tribe leader. He
Why are all these niggas beautiful? No Diddy.
rejects to give them 120 orcs instantly. Lloyd was confused why did they change their mind again. But Lloyd thinks for a while and asks the orc leader, what if the
Like look at their hair. That shit drawing so fucking radiant. They look like they all like use like I
meat could last
feeling things. I'm joking.
for multiple days without spoiling. Due to this, the orcs will not have to hunt in 3 shifts a day.
Oh, that throne is crazy though. I really fuck with that. Oh my god, that's a crazy ass throne.
They can lend him worker orcs. The leader orc tells him, if it was the way, but they cannot risk muscle loss. Lloyd firmly tells him that he will make such device for them. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for the next part.
I certainly will. And I'll see you at the next part. Bye!